Silesia changed hands numerous times over the centuries before becoming part of Prussia in the 18th century, and then the German Empire. But despite efforts to Germanize the area, Upper Silesia still maintained a large Polish population. By the outbreak of World War I, the region was vital to the German economy as their numerous mines provided a great deal of resources to the war effort. But at the end of World War I, the Allies could not decide on what to do with the region. Germany had already lost a lot of its eastern territory to Poland, which was made an independent nation once again. But because of Upper Silesia's split ethnic population, the Allies just decided to hold a plebiscite there within 2 years. However, both Germany and Poland faced a number of problems at this time. Poland was being challenged by the Soviets in the east, and they would eventually have to fight them in the Polish-Soviet War. And in Germany, a left-wing revolution swept through the country. The Kaiser was ousted, and the Weimar Republic took power, but army veterans had formed right-wing paramilitary, and these the Freikorps, challenged the new government. Plus there was the Polish military organization, a secret military society founded by the future head of state, Joseph Pilsudski, during World War I. They were allied with the Central Powers, but at the end of the war, they turned against them and helped secure additional territory for the Polish state before the Treaty of Versailles came into effect. So relations between the two populations were poor. And in Upper Silesia in August 1919, German border guards killed civilians during a labor dispute. The miners who were predominantly Polish went on strike demanding greater representation in government positions. The Germans, however, sent 20,000 troops to crack down on protesters, quickly ending the First Silesian Uprising. But with the plebiscite date set for March 1921, tensions grew, and around 200,000 people, most of which were German, moved to the region in order to be eligible to vote. The Polish military organization and the Free Corps also moved into the area, and violence broke out. So the Allies of World War I sent troops there to try and maintain order, but they sent too few men, and they all favored different outcomes. The French looked to weaken Germany, and they were longtime allies of the Polish, and helped train the newly created Polish army, the British. And Italians, on the other hand, favored Germany because they wanted to rebuild the country in order to get the reparations and in order to gain a strong trading partner. Meanwhile, in mid-1920, the Soviet Union marched on Warsaw. The press wrongfully printed that the city had been taken, and the Germans in Silesia marched in celebration of this, and looted Polish-owned shops and businesses, the Poles. Responded in August by seizing government offices. In Katowice-Tarnowitz and across the region, the disjointed allies could not restore order, so in September they entered into talks with the rebels and agreed to bring Poles into local government and create a new police force that was 50% Polish. Finally, in March 1921, the plebiscite occurred, and hundreds of towns and villages in the east agreed to secede from Germany. But overall, more people voted to remain part of Germany. 60% of the total vote, meaning even some ethnic Poles voted against seceding. Plus, large cities like Katowice were still predominantly German. So the Allies did not know how to respond to the plebiscite. The Poles began believing that the British would give most of the region to Germany, so a politician named Korfanty helps prepare the Third Silesian Uprising. In early May, a special forces unit, the Waffleberg Group, blew up railway bridges, and the rebels quickly seized a lot of the east. The French, favoring the insurrection, did nothing to stop this rebellion, while the British and Italian units worked with the small German defenses. They were able to halt the rebels at what was called the Korfanty Line in mid-May, and a ceasefire was signed. The British agreed to grant amnesty to all involved in exchange for this peace, ending the uprising, but they could still not agree on what to do with the region. So the issue was handed over to the newly created League of Nations, and a commission led by China, Spain, Brazil, and Belgium decided on the issue in October 1921. They agreed to give Poland a large chunk of Silesia's industrial region, which included nearly 2 million people. Both nations were forced to offer protection to the large ethnic minority groups stuck on the wrong side of the border, and Poland even gave Lithuania a great deal of autonomy. But Germany had lost important cities like Katowice, and a lot of coal, zinc, and iron mines, so Germany was allowed to import coal at a discounted price. But this agreement ended in 1925 when Germany pulled out in order to damage the Polish economy, and relations remained bad until World War II.